Hello, and thanks for joining right now. I'm just so glad that we have this bit of a connection. This week, just to be fully transparent for a moment, is wonderful for me and a bit overwhelming. I mean, in addition to all the regular stuff, this week we had confirmation. This morning was Grandparents' Day. It's as we record this about 3 o'clock on Friday afternoon. At 5 o'clock, I have a wedding rehearsal, which I got to get ready for, and a wedding homily for tomorrow. Tonight, we have a big fundraiser. Yeah, tomorrow is a wedding. We also have a youth group retreat. I had to type up my schedule so I don't forget it. After 2 of the masses, we have First Communion practice. On Monday, I'm the keynote speaker for the National Child Abuse Prevention Convention, which is hosted here in St. Louis at the Hyatt at the Arch. People from around the country flying in for that. It's a big deal. So I'll take any prayers you got, right? I love what I do. I do. But since nothing else drops off my calendar or to-do list when there's things like confirmation, Grandparents' Day, First Communion, retreat, weddings, whatever, trying to find time to write all the homilies and presentations and liturgies can be a bit of a handful. And I'm old. So, I had to say that for the derelicts over there. I mean, beautiful children of God over there. Thank you. Anyway, so I'll take any prayers you got. But again, I really do love what I do. I do. It's a lot, but I love it. Here's my best shot at a homily. From my memory of growing up, it seems to me that my siblings and I made almost everything a competition. I mean, we didn't have much money, so it's one of the ways we entertained ourselves. I mean, here's just one of the silly competitions that I got to actually observe, and it made me laugh. One of my siblings and their spouse coaching their child to see if they could make their child's first word mommy or daddy. Now, I happened to be there when Anna spoke her first word, and it was neither. Anna's first word was mine. Her sister had whatever she had taken to play with. Anna was having none of it. And there it was, her first word, mine. Now, certainly, mine can be a dangerous word. On the lips of a child, it can be what precedes a temper tantrum or a squabble. On the lips of adult, it can create separation where there is none and lead to selfishness, maybe even great selfishness. Yet, on the lips of Jesus today, we see that it can also be a profoundly beautiful and important word. Jesus uses the word mine today in context of speaking of himself as our shepherd, right? He tells us that he's not like the hireling that works for pay. No, he says, I know mine, and mine know me. I will lay down my life for them. I mean, they're mine. And if you and I use the word mine as Jesus uses it, it implies taking responsibility for others, of having some skin in the game, so to speak, of being willing to sacrifice for them. You who are married, there is only one of whom you say, this is my wife, this is my husband. I mean, of course you don't own or control that person. It's just that out of the over 8 billion people on the planet, you chose to say this one, would you be my wife? Would you be my husband? I mean, you're the person to whom I want to commit my mind, my body, my future. So it is of children. You know, the relationship is just a bit different when you say, yeah, that's my son, that's my daughter. There's a whole new level of commitment, right? So friendship, there's a bond when we say of someone, this is my friend, right? This is someone I know and who knows me. It's true for me as a priest. Now I know that on some level I belong to the world. I speak nationally and on the road a bit, and I publish books. Because I want to make all the difference I can in the time that I have on earth, the limited time I have. But it is at the parish to which I have been assigned that I can say that these folks are mine and I am theirs. And I am committed, if you're in the parish where I am serving as pastor, to sacrifice for you in a way that is different than I am called to for others. Not because they're not wonderful and deserving of my love and that I don't care for them at all, but it's an extra responsibility and commitment of mine when I can say to my parishioners, you are mine. You know, perhaps in his simple choice of the word mine today, Jesus reminds each of us that we do well to re-choose what is ours. It's really a gift for the world when we each lovingly commit and recommit ourselves to our spouses, our church, our children, our friends. We need to be able to say and mean the words mine. And this is great. Doing so helps open us up to love the bigger world. Loving this person who is mine really creates a space in us bigger than for what is immediately ours. I mean, how could anyone say, I love all of creation, if we haven't learned to love and care for our own dog, right? I mean, all relationships are like a school of love to prepare us to love the bigger world. Tending a garden puts us in touch with the fragile beauty of the entire created world, right? The natural world, the earth, the air, the water, all living things, all which have been entrusted to us to reverence and to protect. Marriage is for the couple, but not just for them. I mean, no, I don't own or control that other person, of course. But my love of them, by saying you are mine, is meant to really make me a better person for the rest of the world. The couples are to find in each other all the many blessings that there are to be found in marriage, but they're each meant to be better for the world as a couple than they would be as individuals. And knowing and being known in friendship breaks us open to see our common humanity and to care for all God's kids. And loving our own children is to help soften our hearts to see that each person is unique and important, whatever their age or race or language or way of life. And that, well, on some level, all the children of the world are our children. All people are our brothers and sisters. I think it's really only by truly loving what is mine, that God can deepen my heart and broaden my love. Broaden my love. You know, Jesus said, I have other sheep as well. These also I must lead. And there will be one flock, one shepherd. He called, these were his disciples. But that in some ways brought him to love the entire world. So's the call that we each have. I mean, I laughed when I remember that my niece Anna's first words were not mommy or daddy, but were mine. And yes, on the lips of children and too many adults, mine can be a dangerous word. But on the lips of Jesus, who said, I know mine, and mine know me, it becomes one of the most beautiful words ever spoken.